and welcome to a Christmas unique strands. I know we've just moved into tier 4, yay! And perhaps we'll want some inspiration for Christmas Day. So I'm going to come up with another Christmas hair decoration, and I managed to get some tinsel. I thought let's go all out and be a bit crazy because there's not a lot of anything else to do. So I've actually got, this is fine tinsel. The reason why I've used fine is because we're going to be using 2 pieces that are doubled up. You'll know what I mean. We're just going to do 2 Dutch braids, but obviously we're going to start it off a little bit different in order to get these in. And you could just use one colour, but I thought, why not mix it up? And I'm going to use 2 different colours. Okay, so you always want it to be longer than your hair. I just never know. Oh, there we go. There's the end bit to there. And this is going to be doubled. So if I can get it off here. What is it doing? Yeah. So I'm going to hold it up. Obviously I want to start it right here. And my hair is pretty long, but not that long. So just kind of move it down. So my hair probably goes to about there. And then I want a little bit longer as well. So I'd say maybe 3 inches extra. Obviously, if your hair's shorter and you just want a really cool long braid, then carry on going. But yes, my hair goes to about here, so I want just a little bit extra. I think that should be enough. Okay, so then I'm going to cut where it ends. And then obviously I'm just going to measure this one up on the red one. Right, so that is just going to be for 1 braid. So you want to do exactly the same and get another red one and another gold one the same size. Okay, also I've just put a hoover in my room because after doing this you're definitely going to need to use it, because these little things every so often they do sort of fall everywhere, but hopefully once it's in the hair it shouldn't fall out as much. Okay, so just put those by the side. You're then just going to need some clear elastic bands and then a hairbrush. Now you can use a pintail comb in order to get your straight, or if you want a zigzag parting, but I'm going to be really lazy today and I'm just going to use my nail. Okay, so with this one, we're going to put a little elastic band and then we're actually going to feed these through. done it too tightly yet. That's because obviously we want to feed them through, and if you do it too tightly, you just won't get it in. Now you can use like one of those plastic loops to help it through, but again, I'm going to be lazy and I'm just going to shove it through. So I'm going to get my fingers underneath. I'm just going to bring that through. And then chuck it at the back. Then I'm going to get my red one and do the same. Obviously you want to try and get it the same at the back. Okay, then before you do that on the other side, you want to tie off this hair underneath. But what I'm actually going to do, instead of tying it off, if you can't be bothered to do that, I'm just going to pin it back. Okay, so that's the end of the hairstyle. Looks great, doesn't it? Okay, so once you've got all of this everywhere, this is when you actually want to tie your hairband a little bit closer. So I'm just going to, because now we want them to stay in nice and tightly. There's always a side that I prefer to start on, and for me it's always the right. Now I'm now going to swap over the hair clips to the other side to hold this in place whilst I braid this side. Okay, so you just want to make sure you've got 2 pieces on the left side and then your 2 pieces on the right side. So even though at the end it's going to look like a Dutch braid, it's almost like you're doing a 4-strand braid, which is pretty much like a fishbone, but you're kind of doing an underneath fishbone, which you'll see what I mean in a second. So now I'm just adding hair on the left side. If I can get my fingers all the way through my hair. And then I'm taking just that gold piece on the outer side whilst adding some hair in as well. Take most of that onto my right hand, and then on the left I've got a gold one going underneath and then adding some hair in as well. So you kind of, in one hand, you don't really want all of the tinsel. You want it to be distributed. So you can see they're now in the left, and I've pretty much got 2 gold pieces. And then I'm going to add hair in from the right side. So now there you can see I've got it distributed, 2 in either side. So it is quite fiddly, and you know, Dutch braids usually take me maybe 15 minutes, and this did take me a good 45 minutes. You know, that's from the start of measuring it up, cutting it out and putting it in. So just take little breaks in between, sort of rest one arm and then sort of start again. But having this big mirror here really, really helped. And I've actually got one behind me as well, just so I can really see what I'm doing. Because it is quite difficult, but bear with, because at the end it does look really cool. And what I've done now is I've really slowed down the video, just so you can really see exactly what I'm doing. So just take everything in the right, And here on the left hand side, I'm actually splitting those two pieces in half, and the bottom piece I'm putting underneath. So it's still a 4-strand braid, but I only really split it in half on the left side. I don't really tend to need to do it on the right side. It's just so we're still making sure those tinsels are being distributed. And then, ta-da! You have a very long braid. I think my hair actually ended there, so I've got it a little bit longer, and that's just how I wanted it. And there we go, super long tinsel braids. Let's go all out for Christmas this year. I think we deserve it to ourselves. We deserve it to ourselves. We owe it to ourselves. Have the most spectacular Christmas, even if it's just with one other person.
I guess I really don't know what Christmas is all about. Isn't there anyone who knows what Christmas is all about?